Ken Whiting with Paddle TV, and I'm here to talk about cool paddling gear. Before we talk about paddling gear, the cool thing about paddling is that you really don't need that much gear unless you're paddling in cold conditions. But that being said, the more you paddle, the more you realize that there's gear that would enhance the paddling experience. And that's what I'm going to talk about right here. I've got some pieces of gear that I've discovered or people have shown me, and that once I started using it, I was like, ooh, that's a nice addition to the gear shed. And so we're going to walk through those right now. The first piece of gear we're going to talk about is surf ears. So what are surf ears? Well, they're basically earplugs that stop the water from getting in your ears, but they let sound in and they don't impede your balance. Now, earplugs aren't a necessity for everyone, but if you're going to be doing paddling that involves getting your head wet repeatedly, and you do it for a long period of time, then they really are. Water in the ears causes ear infections, for one. And the more you do it, the more infections you seem to get. And one of the reasons that happens is because of something called exotosis. Exotosis is your body's response to repeatedly getting water in the ear canal, especially cold water. And what your body does is a bony growth inside your ear canal just continues to grow to try to block, to stop that water from going in. And it does, but it also, eventually, it stops you from hearing. On top of that, it stops the water that gets in from coming out easily, and that makes ear infections that much more prevalent. And that's what I suffer from, or I deal with on an ongoing basis, is over the years, I have that happening in my ears. And now when I get water in my ears, I'm primed for an ear infection. More times than not, I end up with an ear infection. And so when I do rough water paddle, I use earplugs. And I've always used normal earplugs, simple, cheap, pop them in, blocks the water, but they also block the sound. I just started using these. I actually tested these the other day when I was testing the new Jackson Rockstar 5, their play whitewater kayak. And so I was playing, I was upside down, I was rolling more than I have in a long time. And it did the trick. It 100% did the trick in two ways. It kept water from getting in my ears. It let me hear. I could have conversations with the people I was paddling with. I could hear if there was any warnings, if there's anything I needed to know from a safety perspective. But also, in the roughest of whitewater, they didn't move. They stuck in there just fine. I was never worried about them popping out. Popping out isn't necessarily a big deal because they have a strap system with these to stop from losing them. All you do is pop them in, tighten up the strap, and then I'm going back over top. Now, if the earplugs were to, pop out, they're attached to me here. Cool product. They are $50 for a pair of earplugs. That ain't cheap, but I mean, really, if this is something you're doing, if you're flipping, spending a lot of time upside down in water, especially cold water, $50. I mean, one ear infection, for me, I'll pay $50 to avoid one ear infection. Absolutely. The fact that this not only can stop lots of ear infections and the development of exotosis, which can lead to some nasty surgery. I mean, $50, I'll take it. The next piece of paddling gear that you should know about is the Rapid Pure Purifier and water bottle. What's so cool about it is it has a purifier built in. So all you do is scoop up water from the river, from the lake, not from salt water, not from the ocean, it doesn't work there, but any fresh water or fresh body of water, scoop it up, drop it in, tighten it up. There's no pressing, there's no squeezing, nothing. You literally just open the straw and just start sucking. Now, you do have to suck the water through the filter, so it's not as easy as just an open straw, but you're not also sucking so hard that it feels like your brain's going to explode. It actually does a really good job of filtering, purifying the water while making it still quite reasonable to draw water from the bottle. Now, a couple of things to note. This is actually, what's cool about it is it's a purifier, not just a filter. Now, the difference is a filter deals with bacteria, protozoa, what else? Those are the main ones, but what it doesn't do, more importantly, is it doesn't deal with viruses, whereas a purifier takes care of viruses as well. And this is a filter and a purifier, so pretty much the ultimate in protection. This canister, which you can get a new one when it's when this one's spent, get 75 gallons out of this thing, which is something like what, 280 liters. So that's a lot of water, a lot of use you get from this thing. It's great for paddling, great for camp trips, great for anything. Now, this is the insulated stainless steel container bottle that comes with this particular one, but you can get this exact same purifier and lid to go on one of their plastic bottles. It's quite a bit cheaper. This one's around $100 for the stainless steel insulated unit, whereas the plastic bottle is $50 for, I believe, for the bottle and more importantly this unit. But the other cool thing about this thing is that the lid is designed to go on most 2.5-inch lids. So you don't even need necessarily to use the bottles that they have. You can use one of the water bottles you already have. To learn more about this sucker or to buy this sucker, you can go to rapidpurewater.com. Next up, we've got KAYAKS sunglasses. Sunglasses isn't exactly a revolutionary piece of gear that you've never heard of, but it's amazing how few people actually use sunglasses on the water while paddling. And I think that's largely because they're afraid of losing them. The problem is when you're on the water with the reflection of the sun, the damage on your eyes can be compounded. It's a harsh environment and you really need to protect your eyes with sunglasses whenever you can. In full transparency, I started using KAYAKS about a year ago, and they are now a sponsor of my Paddle Tales Paddling Adventures series. The reason they're a sponsor is because I love them. I wouldn't be pushing them, talking about them, or any product if I really didn't believe that they were awesome. And I got to test these KAYAKS sunglasses in a wide range of conditions over the past year. In particular this spring, stand-up paddling, whitewater kayaking, sea kayaking, touring. I was using them pretty much every day. And the other thing I got to test was different lens colors. And I really narrowed down what I like the most for the different conditions, because different lens colors make sense depending on whether it's an overcast day or a bluebird day. What I like about KAYAKS sunglasses in particular is polarized lenses. I like the style. There's so many styles to choose from. They're designed for outdoors people specifically. And so the style just, it fits. For me, it fits. A lot of them come with the strap system, and the strap system hooks on, and it's a bomber hookup. It takes a little bit of work to worm it on, but that means it's not going to come off on you. I was using these particular ones, whitewater kayaking, steep creeking in it. And the reason I had the confidence to do that, not only did I enjoy having the sunglasses on, but the lenses and the frames are shatterproof. So if you're doing something like whitewater kayaking, you flip and you hit, you're unfortunate enough to hit a rock with glasses of any type, that's a recipe for disaster. But knowing that you're not going to end up with shards in your face or your eye is huge. To check out all the different styles and lens combinations, just go to KAYAKS.com. Next piece of paddling gear we're talking about is this sucker right here. This is the Blue Dot Outfitters KAYAK Kayak Cooler. Now this thing is designed to quickly, easily strap to the back of any recreational kayak seat. And it's a cooler. It's a cooler that will hold up to about 10 cans. I don't know how much lunch that is, but plenty for you and a good size group of paddlers. It comes with a shoulder straps to move it around when it's not on your kayak. The attachment point is a really simple ball and bungee system that you don't have to worry. As long as you can wrap it around something, you can attach it to something. Very simple and intelligent system for attaching it. It's 16 inches wide, 10 inches tall, 6 inches deep, and it retails for $65 US, which compared to a $300 Yeti that you could put in the back of your boat, that's a pretty spanking deal, I'd say. For more information about this kayak cooler, you can check them out at blue.outfitters.com. Next up, we've got Farm to Summit camp meals. Now, there are a lot of dehydrated camp meals to choose from out there. Farm to Summit caught my attention primarily because they sent me these to test. That's not that hard to do. But really, they sent them to me to test, and so I tested them, and that's when they really caught my attention because I enjoyed them. And I didn't test them on a camping trip. You'd think that, yeah, that's where you want to test them, go on a camping trip. But no, they're a dehydrated meal. You just add hot boiling water to them, and that's all there is to do. When you're camping, everything tastes like a 5-star dinner after a full day outdoors with lots of great exercise. And so the way to test camp meals is to have them for lunch at home on a normal day. And so that's what I did. I did that with 2 of theirs, the green, what was it? The green chili mac and cheese and the Thai red curry. Anyway, they both were fantastic. I mean, for a dehydrated meal, no, they didn't compare to my home cooked meals, but for a dehydrated meal, literally just boil water, dump it in there, leave it for about 20 minutes, and you're off to the races. I was really impressed with them. Aside from being good dehydrated meals, I also really like their story. They're 2 ladies in Colorado who have a love for food, for the outdoors, and for the environment. And you know, their mission is to create quality camp meals that also works to reduce food waste in the environment. And so you can find out more about the Farm to Summit backpack dehydrated meals, not just backpacking, but dehydrated meals at farmtosummit.com. Last, but certainly not least, we've got the dry robe. There's so many things I love about paddling, but there are a few things that I really don't look forward to. And one of those things is that awkward game of not trying to flash someone your naked butt when you're getting changed at the put-in or the takeout, especially when the weather is cold, raining, just not a nice day. People at Dry Robe don't like that either, and that's why they came up with the dry robe. And the dry robe is simply a changing outfit. In simple terms, it's like a big poncho, an insulated and waterproof poncho that you wear and you can get changed underneath it. It's got lots of room to get changed. The outer shell is waterproof. Inside, it's got this super soft synthetic lamb's wool. It's made from 100% recycled polyester too, which is cool. I mean, this is a cold weather or cool weather piece of gear. On a hot summer day, getting changed in this thing, you're gonna bake in it. They do have a cloth version for the warmer days, but this is like the main product. Comes in short sleeves or long sleeves. This is the long sleeve version, and it's got a couple of different colors. I really enjoy this thing. This has been a nice addition to my paddling gear on the cold spring days, and this coming fall, I'll really enjoy it as well. But the other thing I hate about changing at the put-in and the takeout is stepping out, even on a nice day, stepping onto gravel, a dirt road, maybe it's wet and you're dealing with mud, puddles or dead leaves, whatever. You have to take your shoes off and get your booties on. Well, they've come up with the changing mat. Now this thing I use more than the dry robe. In fact, this thing has a permanent place in my truck now. It's simply a water resistant shell. You put this down and on the top it's got that same super soft synthetic lamb's wool. And when you get changed and you put those feetsies on this thing, that changes the whole changing experience. Now, the change mat goes for $30 US. The dry robe, the full meal deal one, goes for $200 US. Now that's a pretty penny, but if you do a lot of cold weather paddling, you're going to use that over and over and over again, and you may easily be able to justify the expense for the comfort it will provide. Not to mention what you're going to be saving other people in unnecessary butt shots. So there you have it, some gear that I've been enjoying, and perhaps it can make your paddling trips more enjoyable, comfortable, fun, tasty. I am going to leave a link to all of these products in the description box down below if you're interested. Otherwise, subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, tell me about some other products that you think I should know about, and stay tuned, because we do have lots more paddling tips, paddling gear reviews, and paddling adventures coming your way.